Hello students, here's another example from homework number 10, distribution of the sample mean. The question says a population of values has a normal distribution with mean of 157.9. So the population mean is 157.9 and the population standard deviation is 7.7. You intend to draw a random sample of size n is equal to 114. We want to find the probability that a single randomly selected value is greater than 159.6. And then we want to find the probability that a sample of size n is equal to 114 is randomly selected with a mean greater than 159.6. You see the difference between the first question and the second question. For the first question, we're asking about a single value from the population. For the second part, we're asking about if the sample size is going to have a mean that is greater than 159.6. So that is the main difference between the two questions. The first question we did previously in week 9 when we studied the normal distribution. The second question is related to the distribution of the sample mean. So how do we answer the first question? How do we answer the second question? Let me draw the first question. So the first question, we want to find if a randomly selected value is greater than 159.6. So I'm going to say this is the value. Sorry, my lines are not straight. So this is 159.6. Let's say that is the value. And greater than that value, the probability of the value being greater than this number is this area under the curve because it's greater than. This distribution represents, this is x, okay, because we're talking about the population. So this is the population normal distribution. And to find the area or the probability, we're going to use 1 minus normal distribution. This is how we're going to calculate the area to the right of a number. So 1 minus norm dot distribution of the number x, which is 159.6, comma, the mean. In this case, it is the population mean, 157.9. And the standard deviation, in this case, it is the population standard deviation, which is 7.7. And we know it's a cumulative, so we're going to say true. So that is the answer for the first one. Let me round to 4 decimal places. To answer the second question, we know that we selected a sample of size 114, so that will create a new standard deviation. To compute the new standard deviation, we know that the standard deviation of the distribution of the sample mean is equal to the standard deviation of the population divided by the square root of the sample size. So I'm going to compute a new standard deviation right here. I know that the population standard deviation is equal to 7.7 divided by the square root of the sample size, which is in my case 114. So that is the new standard deviation I will be using. Now again, I can use the same picture. The only thing that I want to change right here is this, because we're looking for whether the mean of that sample is going to be greater than 159.6. Let me just go back and check that I have the right number. Okay, so this is how you're going to calculate that. So it's going to be equal to 1 minus norm dot distribution of x, which is in our case 159.6. And then the mean is the population mean, which is 157.9. And then the standard deviation, which is the standard deviation that we computed from the population standard deviation. It is going to be this number, so I'm going to click on that number, and I know this is cumulative. So that is going to be the answer. I'm going to round to 4 decimal places, so it is 0.0 0092. I hope this video helped you understand how to answer this type of question, and I will see you in a different one.